Yeah, today I want to talk about how to implement successfully OKRs in any organization and in a sustainable way. I want to put a more emphasis on this sustainability, so that the implementation is not only there for 1 or 2 OKR cycles. So we want to make that also happen, that the implementation or the operation with the OKR framework is there for years. My name is Dirk Schmellenkamp. I've been living here in Southeast Asia, in Kuala Lumpur, for the last 10 years. Originally, I'm from Germany, from Munich, and I've been applying OKRs for approximately 7 years in my organization. So I come a little bit to my background in the upcoming slides. So I will cover that, how I used OKRs in my organization and what are the pitfalls. So to give you a little bit here of a feedback. The topics today, we want to cover the foundation of OKRs, then a couple of examples of weak and strong OKR examples, then how to draft OKRs, and also we will cover the heartbeat and OKR cycle in an organization. So these are the main topics. We have our presentation, so approximately 40 minutes. So please ask any question, raise your hand. And so I'm happy then to answer if you have any questions during the presentation. Yeah, for sure you know Larry Page, and he said about OKRs. OKRs have helped them 10 times growth, many times over, and they have been applying OKRs for more than 20 years. Why do I showcase here now Google? Because it's not easy to implement the same blueprint Google has applied for their organization. Every organization has a different heartbeat. And also Google implemented OKRs on 3 different levels: on the company level, as a management level, team level, department level, and individual level. So there are a couple of pitfalls also there. And of course, they had so much time to implement OKRs and to build up their OKR muscle that every organization should also look into their OKR heartbeat, how they can adjust the OKR framework to their to the organization. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, otherwise, if you can unmute, that would be good. Okay, all right. Yeah, for sure you read the book, or I strongly can recommend this book from John Doerr, Measure What Matters. John Doerr introduced the OKR framework to Google, and he said ideas are easy, execution is everything. The OKR framework is, or OKRs is actually a strategy tool, how to plan your goals on a 1 to 3 months, as 1 year to 3 months basis. And it helps you really to execute, to execute it and to get things done. So we also will cover how to set up strong OKRs and how to set up the OKR framework. So I will cover this today. A little bit of history about OKRs and goal setting in general. First of all, I want to talk about MBOs, as management by objective, which were introduced by Peter Drucker in the late 60s. And Peter Drucker had actually a good intention to implement MBOs to bring in more engagement in the organization. Till now, MBOs are very common. So it's more this top-down approach. So the management comes up with the strategies, with the objectives, and then the teams have to follow. Then in the early 80s, the SMART model came up with the KPIs, which are very popular, for example, in the Middle East, but also in Asia. Till now, as KPIs, key metrics, are an essential part of performance management. And I also strongly recommend that we also keep this one, to see how healthy your organization is. I will cover this today. What is the difference between KPIs and OKRs? That's very essential to see what differentiate these 2 performance management tools. Then in the early 90s, the balanced scorecard was introduced, and it's a strategy tool more on an annual basis. which can be also linked to the OKR framework, by the way. It works with 4 columns, yeah, in your organization, covers mainly your customers, financial, also your learning in your organization. And yeah, what I said, it can be linked to your OKR system. So as you can see here, OKRs were introduced in the 70s, late 70s, and became very popular in 2017, 2018, when a lot of OKR software entered into the market, and then it was just easier to organize the OKR cycle, yeah, workshops, yeah, communication, engagement, tracking of your key metrics and key results. Yeah, so that was much easier. And so you can see here a sharp rise in implementing OKRs in a lot of organizations, independent from the industry. Yeah, OKRs a little bit deeper in the OKR history. Andy Grove, he introduced OKRs, or yeah, he invented actually OKRs, and he modified the MBO model, wanted to bring in more engagement, vertical engagement, as well as horizontal engagement in the organization. And he was very successful at this time. After he implemented OKRs, 2 years later, he could outperform Motorola. Before the implementation of OKRs, they were in a red ocean, yeah, in a great competition with Motorola. And Motorola were way ahead of Intel. After they implemented OKRs, within 2 years, they could outperform Motorola, and yeah, are market leaders till now. And they're still using OKRs in a very successful way. John Doerr, yeah, he wrote the book Measure What Matters. He used to work with Andy Grove together at Intel in the management also. He introduced OKRs to Google, and Google at this time had approximately 30 employees, and yeah, have been applying now OKRs for more than 22 years, very successfully. And then it spread it to Silicon Valley, yeah, and a lot of tech organizations applied OKRs more in the agile environment, and then it spread it to a lot of other industries. As you can see here, I just name here the main companies here which have applied OKRs, like Siemens, ING, banks, but also foundations and e-commerce companies, tech companies, of course. Yeah. Yeah, myself, a little bit of introduction of myself. I've been applying OKRs since 2014. I've built up a fitness chain with over 20 fitness studios worldwide. And I was always fascinating how yeah, Silicon Valley companies outperform always till now, yeah, with software, and how they are always advanced in this agile thinking. And in 2014, I came across this video from Google, which were uploaded on YouTube, and they were talking the first time about OKRs. So then I applied it in 2015 in my organization, and with a lot of pitfalls and a lot of learning curves till now. It has helped me to expand in 5 different countries and build up high-performing teams, also especially when we have satellite systems as different teams in different countries. So this helped me a lot, also in combination with the KPI system. Yeah? So I have 2 systems in place, KPIs as well as OKR. So that's very important that we have 2 systems in place, which I will also explain a little bit later in detail. Yeah, why are OKRs so important? Yeah, there is an interesting study about from Gallup and Harvard conducted in 2018. They figured out that 90% of employees need clear goals and directions. 85% of employees are not engaged at work. That means like maybe they are satisfied, yeah, with their salary, what they are doing, but they are not really pushing the company forward or the team forward, or maybe they are not really team players. 90% of companies fail to execute the strategy successfully. Yeah? Also, this number is very shocking. Yeah? Similarly, in all countries around the world, what I experience from the coaching, there is a misalignment in the organization. So companies or organizations can't manage to achieve their annual strategies. Yeah, so also we'll cover that later, why and what is the reason. 95% of employees are unaware or don't understand the company strategy. Also here, a misalignment. Yeah? So only 5% know what the company wants and what are the annual strategies. Yeah? If you go further down then in the organization, people really don't know and don't understand what we want to achieve. Yeah? Not only on a vision base, on a mission base, but also on the annual strategy base. Yeah? So as you can see here, there are 4 topics. Yeah. OKRs give clear goals, direction, what you want to achieve, increases the engagement rate in an organization and in teams, and also give you a very good execution framework, how to execute strategies, annual strategies, and also bring in more alignment, vertical alignment, as well as horizontal alignment in an organization towards your company strategies, vision, and mission. So these are these 4 topics which the OKR framework will cover and help you to succeed. Yeah, why OKRs are important? This strategy execution gap. Yeah, so most of the time, organizations set their strategies at the end of the year, beginning of the year for the new year. And then there is a misalignment between strategies and the team and operations. So OKRs help here to bridge this gap between strategies and execution and teams. Yeah. So that's something which, when you have implemented OKRs in a sustainable, successful way, it really pushes your company forward. Yeah. Also, it helps you to prioritize on important things, on important goals. Yeah. So you set your strategies and then you focus on your quarterly base, how to execute, how to achieve them. Yeah. So that's why less OKRs are better. So then we can focus on what really matters. Yeah. So it's not easy to draft good objectives and then to focus on it. We will not change objectives also during our OKR cycle. We will stick to our objective. Yeah. What are the 3 important pillars, yeah, or foundation of OKRs? First of all, you need to have a good company culture. Yeah. The second one, employee engagement. Yeah, that's important. And then a performance management system. Yeah. So if you have that in place, if you have a good company culture, if you have employees which are very engaged, and also something where you already track your performance, yeah, say with key metrics, KPIs, balanced scorecard on a strategy map, that's always very helpful to implement then also OKRs. So of course, you can also change the company culture and employee engagement with OKRs and turn that into a healthy company. Yeah, so that's something is also can be done via the OKR framework. Yeah. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. Yeah, that's a famous quote from Peter Drucker. If you have a good OKR framework or strategy framework and you have a toxic culture, that really doesn't work. Yeah. So what I mentioned also is about you need to have not only a good content, yeah, understanding of OKRs and how to draft OKRs, you need to have a good context too, yeah, a good leadership, yeah, how to empower people to come up with their own ideas. So that's something which can be fostered in the OKR framework, in the OKR cycle. We want to empower team members to unleash their creativity with the OKR framework. Yeah, what I mentioned before is about when you have a company culture which is based more on controlling people, that doesn't really work with OKRs. We want to also give the freedom to employees to come up with their own ideas, to empower people. Also, when we have a toxic culture, yeah, so that doesn't also work. Yeah, so OKRs is more about the team, not about me. The team is important, yeah, and we want to succeed, yeah, together, yeah, and not only focusing on ourselves. Yeah. There are a couple of different topics you should address. It's about how can OKRs, or how can you incentivize people when they succeed, and how you can drive up the engagement rate, motivation, buy-ins of people using OKRs. Yeah, that's not easy. This will be covered also in our OKR practitioner course, as well as in the OKR professional course. I mentioned before, you should prioritize, yeah, on your main objectives, yeah, what is important, and then you focus on it. Yeah, so too many OKRs just distracts. Yeah, you just lose the focus on what really matters for your organization and for your teams. Yeah, that's also not easy. That can be trained over the time. Yeah, for that reason, OKRs to set up and expect like miracles within 3 months, yeah, that really doesn't happen. You need at least 2 to 3 OKR cycles to build up your OKR muscle, to get better and better and better. So you need to have also here a clear expectation. Yeah, and also we need to trust people. Yeah, we hire people and we trust them to do great things. Yeah, this also has to do with empowering people to come up with their own ideas. Yeah, so the purpose is therefore very important. People want to connect, yeah, to your company vision, to the purpose, what they are working on, what is the mission actually. And so that's also important. And therefore, the OKRs also can align teams to your company vision strategies, and of course to your purpose and to your core values of your organization. Yeah. So how does it work in more traditional organizations, yeah, and where we want to move in more an agile environment? Most of the time, yeah, I would say more than 95%, what I experience is still we have this annual planning, yeah, this static planning, this waterfall goals, we call it. Culture-wise, the goals comes from the management, and then the teams have to conduct the goals, achieve the goals. So it's more like this command control approach. Strategy-wise, we have this annual static planning. Yeah, so we want to launch, for example, a product, and then we see how it works when we launched it. Tactical-wise, we have these big bets, and then these long feedback cycles where we have our project management, and then we want to push something in the market. And then we see, yeah, what I mentioned before, if our customer like our product or not. So that's something we want to be a little bit more agile. So how can we achieve that? Yeah, with OKRs. OKRs from a cultural point of view, we want to have this aligned autonomy. Yeah? First of all, maybe that contradicts, yeah, alignment and autonomy, but that really works very well in the OKR framework. We want to have, instead of this command control, we want to have this vision mission command. Yeah, so this is our North Star, and we want to connect the teams, yeah, team members to this North Star. Strategy-wise, our decisions should be based on objective data, yeah, on an objective base, yeah, not on a subjective base where it's based on someone's opinion. Yeah, so that's for that reason the key results, the numbers, which is very important, are always included in the key result as a lagging indicator, yeah, I call it. So we want to base our decisions on real data, and then we want to validate our hypothesis. Yeah? So for example, we want to enter a new market. For that reason, we want to test first if something works, and we need to also get the right data in order to see if we are still on the right track. Tactical wise, we need to have also a safe to fail environment, yeah, where it's in the OKR frame, it's also okay to fail and to learn from it. Yeah, so therefore these short feedback cycles are very important. In the OKR framework, I strongly recommend we have these weekly check-in meetings where you organize in your organization with your team at least once a week, a session which lasts between 15 and 30 minutes to discuss if you're still on the right track. Operational wise, the OKR framework is a tool in a lot of agile, in a lot of in this agile toolbox, yeah, I would say. So it can be also linked, yeah, to other agile methodologies like Scrum, Lean management. Therefore, yeah, you also have to look into it. Does it cannibalize sometimes the objective? But it works really well if you apply it in the correct way. Yeah? We will also cover that in the practitioner course and partly also in the professional course. Yeah, OKRs are not about this top-down control. It's more about this bottom-up engagement. Yeah, so we want to engage our people, our teams, yeah, to come up with their own ideas, and then maybe the management, they just communicate their strategies or their management OKR, and then the team gets linked to these strategies and these OKRs. Yeah, they come up with their own ideas, what they can do in order to help to move the company forward. Yeah, a famous architect said, Richard Buckminster Fuller, he said, you cannot change how someone thinks, but you can give them a tool to use which will lead them to think differently. Yeah, so that's about OKRs, OKR framework. It's actually easy to apply, yeah, in an organization, because you can already start with a team, yeah, or pilot group to implement that. Yeah, you don't have to wait till everyone understands what OKRs are. You just start with one team. Yeah, it doesn't have to be necessarily from the management. It can be also on the team level, on the department level. Yeah, that's the beauty about OKRs. And then you start with a pilot group, and if you are successful, then there you can roll it out to different teams on a horizontal basis, but also on a vertical basis. Yeah, where does the OKR framework fits in? Yeah, in this agile world. So it fits in very well in this cultural purpose driven organizations. Yeah, so as you can see here, you have design thinking, lean startups, Scrum, Kanban. Here you can link that very well to this customer centricity, yeah, to this other agile methodology, and therefore the OKR frame bridges the gap between execution and also the vision and mission, and brings a change also in the culture of your organization. So that's something I would put that more on the purpose and the culture area in an organization. Yeah, Agile methodology, I mentioned it before, where the Agile framework can help here, and also you can link them with the OKR framework, which is Scrum, Lean Management, and Kanban. Yeah, so we also will go a little bit deeper in the OKR practitioner course in this subject here. Yeah, how does it look like in the world of objectives? Yeah, where does the OKR framework fit in here? First of all, we start with the vision, mission, core values, followed by the strategic objectives, tactical objectives, key results, and initiatives, projects, and tasks. Cadence, yeah. Vision you set usually between 5 and 10 years, yeah. But I also thinking about to have a shorter time frame, because we're living in such an agile world. So I can also see that people in organizations set vision and mission statements 3 to 5 years. Yeah, so that's not wrong. Strategic objectives you set between 1 and 3 years. And then, as you can see here, the OKR framework fits in. I call it also the OKRA framework: objectives, key result, and action plan. Action plan is what you do in order to achieve your key results and your objectives. So this can be linked to your annual objectives, but I also have to say, from the cadence, OKRs can be between 1 month and 12 months. Yeah? You can set up 12 months OKRs and then break them further down. Also, you can set shorter OKRs, which are 1 month long, which can be linked then to Scrum, to the Scrum methodology. Yeah? So that can be done too. So everything between 1 and 12 months is reasonable. Yeah, here I use Elon Musk as an example, because he is, if you like him or not, but he communicates always his vision, mission, strategy, and OKRs. Yeah, so it's easy to get him as an example how he aligns, his vision to his OKRs. So as you can see here on the vision, on the vision statement, he said, "I'm trying to think about the future and not to be sad. I want to change the world." Yeah. So that's something which is really honest, and you believe him. Mission statement, yeah, how you want to achieve it. With Tesla, he wants to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Strategy-wise, yeah, now we go into this 1 to 3 years goal setting. we want to build electric cars for the higher price segment before going into the mass market. And on a shorter term, let's say between 3 and 12 months, we want to build effective production plants or lines and build efficient batteries. Yeah. So as you can see here now, it's very well aligned. Yeah, the OKRs to the strategy, to the mission, and to the vision statement. Yeah, another study I want to share with you, which is very interesting, from MIT. They conducted a study in 2018 worldwide with 200 organizations. And as you can see from this study, there's a misalignment between strategy and execution of teams. Yeah. They found out that the top teams, only 51% know the strategy of an organization, if you go then further down, in the org chart, then the senior executive, only 22% know it after a certain time. The middle management, only 18% know the strategies of the organization, and the front supervisors, only 13%. Now, can you imagine on the team level that no one really knows what the strategies are? Yeah, and we set all these big balanced scorecard strategies and communicate maybe these strategies at the beginning or end of the year for the new year, but then it's just forgotten after a while. No one really cares. Yeah, and how can we achieve our strategies? Yeah, how can we achieve what we really want to? Get maybe in 2 or 3 years. Yeah, so that's something the OKR framework can really help there. And we need to be also very agile in our minds. Yeah, so we need to set also goals. Yeah, let's say on a 1-year basis or 2-year basis, and then you have to think about how can we achieve that more on a shorter term. Yeah, on a 3-month base. So otherwise, people just forget it because they know it will change anyway. Yeah, so that's something where the OKR framework can really help in the execution and also in the alignment towards the company strategies, vision, and mission. Yeah, the power of purpose. Yeah, is also people want to know what they're working on. Yeah, so especially the new generation, the purpose is very important. Yeah, it's not only sometimes the money. Yeah, so you wake up in the morning, you want to think about, okay, why do I wake up and why do I want to go to the company? I want to change something. Yeah, and my contribution is important, so it makes an impact. Yeah, so that's for that reason we want to empower also team members to come up with their own ideas. They are part of the vision, mission, and strategies. Yeah, it's not only the management. So that's very important with OKRs, and it enables this empowerment. Yeah, so what I said here, people don't go wake up in the morning and say, yippee, I want to make more money for the company. They want to see the purpose. Yeah, so that's very, very important. Yeah, John Doerr, he said, create vision, fail on execution. Ideas are easy, execution is everything. And we focus in the OKR practitioner course also on this execution. How can you achieve in the most effective way your annual and your quarterly strategies? Yeah? So this is super, super important. Yeah, execution does not like complexity. That's also something we will also focus in the workshops. Yeah, the 2 best friends are transparency. Yeah, we want to make our goals transparent. Yeah, so maybe not a lot of people like this transparency, that they know other people what they are working on, but it's not a controlling tool. Yeah, it's about how can we help in order to achieve it together. Yeah, for that reason, we need to keep our OKRs very simple. Not only you in your team understand the OKR, also it should be understandable by outside of your team and your department. Yeah, so we want to also foster the horizontal alignment. So that's why we want to focus on this transparency and this simplicity of drafting of OKRs. It should be easy to understand and very clear and crisp, and not subjective. It should be objective. Yeah. Yeah, OKRs also magnify the vision, company vision, mission, and strategies, and make them visible. Yeah. So especially if we make it transparent now to the whole organization. Yeah, and if we work on a daily basis or at least on a weekly basis with our OKR framework, then it's always there. The company vision, and the strategies is not forgotten. Yeah. So then if you have this, then this study again, I think of course, a lot of people then know what we are working on, yeah? Especially if you talk on this on a weekly basis. Also, this focusing is important, yeah, but it has also a risk, yeah. If we draft OKRs, we take our time by drafting the objective, because the objective will not be changed. The key result can be changed later on, or can be changed during the OKR cycle. So we want to focus, yeah, in this OKR cycle on this set objective. Of course, there is maybe a partial blindness. Yeah? If you focus on something, then maybe you don't see anything outside of this focus. But for that reason, there are 3 months or 1 to 3 months on a quarterly basis, your OKR cycle gives you this freedom, yeah, that at least you're so agile enough that you can foresee what happens maybe in 2 or 3 months. So for that reason, it's very important to take time to draft OKRs and objectives and take time in finding the right objective for the new OKR cycle. Also, less is better, not too many OKRs, less is more. If everything is a priority, nothing is. Yeah. So for that reason, I see a lot of organizations, they have too many OKRs, yeah, and then they just lose the track, yeah, on what is really important, yeah. So I strongly recommend when you start implementing OKRs, yeah, in your organization, start with 1 OKR first. That's totally enough to train actually how to draft OKRs, but how to organize the workshops, the OKR cycles, the weekly check-in meetings, the reflection process, yeah, what we learn from it. And then we also focus on the new OKR cycle. There are a lot of things going on, but when we're getting better and better, then we also free up more resources, yeah. People can see that OKRs really help them in also their business as usual, in their daily work, yeah. So for that reason, OKRs need more time, yeah. What I said, 2 to 3 months, then you get really, really good in OKR. Start with 1 OKR first. If you feel more confident, then take another OKR for the next OKR cycle in your portfolio. Yeah, let's go into an example on a personal, more on a personal objective. Yeah, let's imagine you want to run a marathon, and yeah, most of us give up at some point. Yeah, so we have this New Year's resolution that could be an annual, let's say, annual OKR. And how can you make it more feasible, yeah, and more achievable? We want to choose the right cadence, yeah, and breaking down this goal. And how would now this ambitious OKR look like? So first of all, for Q1, when we set our OKRs, we want to trigger the behavior first, yeah. And the objective could be, we want to build a foundation for Fit for Me. Key result number 1, we want to lose 3 kg, yeah, so that's measurable now. Key result number 2, we want to increase stamina to reach my first 2K run. And as an action plan, as this OKR action plan, what do we do in order to achieve it? We want to keep a food journal, a diet plan maybe, and start running a 1K daily. So that's something now we're triggering the behavior to get in this mood, yeah, to feel a little bit fitter and to trigger our motivation, yeah. In Q2, we want to guide our focus, yeah. As an objective, we want to get stronger and build endurance. The key result number 1, now we want to run the first 5K. We want to bring the BMI, so body mass index, down from 36 to 28. And as an action plan, we want to adjust our diet plan according to our BMI progress. In Q3, we want to sustain our momentum, meaning the same objective as in Q2. We want to get stronger and build endurance. Key result number 1, we want to get ready to compete in our first 10K run. Key result number 2, we want to improve further our BMI from 30 to 25. And as an action plan, we want to adjust our diet plan according to our BMI progress. In Q4, we now want to promote our mastery. Yeah? We're getting really, really good, yeah, in running. We are very motivated. Now the Fit Me is crushing it. Key result number 1, we want to win our first 10K run. We want to improve our BMI further from 25 to 18. And we want to adjust our diet plan according to our BMI progress. So as you can see here, you get much more effective, yeah, and it's more realistic, yeah. You have this big OKR on an annual basis, yeah, and now you break it down in more feasible objectives. So your execution, especially if you have a really good execution framework, then it's most likely also you stick to your goal. So first of all, we want to trigger the behavior, guide our focus, sustain the momentum, promote the mastery. And the same you can do in your organization. Yeah? You take one of your annual OKRs, annual strategies, and turn them into an annual OKR. And then you break them further down. Yeah? Then you start, of course, with Q1. You set it up for Q1, and then you see how it goes. And then you set up at the end of the OKR cycle, the new OKRs for the next cycle. Yeah? So not the whole OKR for each quarter has to be set up from the beginning. Yeah? So then you can see if you're still on the right track. So if I follow this model, then most likely I'm ready to run my first marathon in the beginning of next year. Yeah? So that's something which really can push you forward. Yeah, OKRs, a very simple definition of OKRs. It's a simple system which creates alignment and engagement around measurable and dynamic goals. Yeah? So this is this agile part. This dynamic goals is that your key results can be changed during your OKR cycle. The objective will remain the same. And this alignment, we want to achieve this vertical and horizontal alignment. Yeah, that for example, we share different key results with different departments, different key result owners, and also we want to align it to our strategies on the company level. Yeah, for superpowers of OKRs, focus on commit to priorities. The second one, align and connect for teamwork. This teamwork with collaboration is also very important. Also, we want to stretch for amazing, yeah. That we also have this rubber band, and we want to stretch it. Not only our, don't want to stay in our comfort zone, yeah. But for that reason, easy said. We want to also give the freedom to people to allow them also to fail sometimes. In the OKR framework, we measure more the engagement, how someone is engaged, not so much on the progress. The engagement, how someone is engaged and motivated, maybe. Yeah. And then we track the progress. Also important, yeah, that at least once a week we track the progress, and we work on our action plan level most of the time on a daily basis. Then the risk is mitigated that we forget about our OKRs. Yeah? So this daily work, yeah, or at least this weekly work, is super essential to get the stickiness, yeah, to our OKR framework. Other superpowers are, it drives motivation up, a clear connection between strategies and execution and teams, and it drives innovation. OKRs are there for innovation. We want to build something new, innovate something. So that's something which where you differentiate also between KPIs and OKRs. Yeah, here. Yeah, for disciplines which comes with OKRs, focus on the important goals. We want to act on lead measures. Yeah, we will cover these leading indicators. Yeah, in the OKR practitioner course. Yeah, what do you do in order to achieve it? Yeah. We want to keep also a compelling scoreboard. Yeah, that everyone knows what's going on and where we stand. And we want to create a cadence of accountability. Ownership, super important. This ownership can be only achieved when someone also comes up with their own key results. Yeah? So then I get this ownership. I'm accountable. I'm not only responsible, I'm accountable for it. Yeah, the OKR cycle concentrate on this prioritization, on the focusing what really matters. Yeah. And then we focus on the execution, yeah, in our OKR cycle. And at the end of the OKR cycle, we have this reflection and learning progress. What did we learn from it? So that's why we have also be honest to ourselves. Yeah. So what worked really well, maybe it was too easy to achieve. So that means like we have to be transparent and also honest. Yeah. So that's something also important. Yeah, 4 simple steps with the OKR framework. First of all, you set your company vision, mission, strategies, maybe also the core values, yeah, which can be aligned to your OKRs, to your vision, mission, and strategies and core values. Then imagine now you're sitting in a car, yeah, you want to drive from, let's say, Munich to Berlin, yeah, and you have a clear destination where you want to be, yeah, at the end of the OKR cycle. In your car, your key results are your navigation system. Yeah, it tells you if you get closer to your destination. Yeah, and so for that reason, we need to check that at least on a weekly basis. Yeah, if we are still on track. And then the action plan, yeah, so this OKR system, this action plan, we set our task, initiatives, and projects. So what do we do in order to achieve our key results? This is our fuel, in order to achieve our objective. Yeah. So as you can see here, the destination is always the same. Sometimes a bumpy road, curvy road, and we have to adjust a little bit, maybe the signboards here at the side of the street. And the key results are more this agile element, yeah, in your OKR setup. That can be adjusted, yeah, if you see maybe you're on the right, on the wrong path. Yeah. And I also strongly recommend start with the first gear, yeah. Don't use too many OKRs. Don't implement too many OKRs. Implement one OKR first. That's totally enough, especially if you're new with OKRs. You will also train that in the OKR practitioner course, how to set up the right OKR pilot group for your organization. Use a very simple form, yeah, in drafting OKRs. I always use this form, this OKR formula. I want to achieve X things as measured by key metrics, and I will do X things to achieve these key results. So always keep that in mind, yeah. So how to draft OKRs, use this formula, and it makes it a little bit easier then to draft, especially the first time OKRs. So that's also a help. Of course, there are more elements, yeah, in having a strong OKR, but it's good to start with. Yeah. Introduce OKRs as vegetable, yeah. So this okra is actually here an Asian vegetable. And don't introduce OKRs as a candy, yeah, that everyone gets excited and we implement too many OKRs and we expect too many things. Yeah. So we want to turn a company from a, yeah, let's say some unhealthy key metrics you have in a healthy one. So for that reason, it takes time, 2 to 3 months to see there also results. So introduce OKRs as a vegetable, not as a candy, where you eat a lot of candies and then you're tired. Yeah, you're excited, but after maybe 3 or 4 weeks, you don't want to continue. Yeah, 3 different levels of OKRs. We have the individual level, team level, tactical operational OKRs, we call them, strategic level, organizational OKRs. In our workshop, we're only focusing on the team and organization level. The reason is, or the cons, yeah, for individual OKRs is actually it's too complex. Yeah? Imagine you have OKRs on individual level, team level, you align them also the company level. You have to have a lot of conversation, a lot of workshops to also focus on individual level. That doesn't mean, yeah, that your employees or team members, they don't own a key result. Yeah, they are always an ownership of key results, which is linked to an individual. Yeah. But the next reason why we don't want to have individual OKRs is about we concentrate more on the me rather than the we. We want to foster the collaboration. We want to have a strong teamwork. Yeah? For that reason, it's much better to have it on 2 levels, company and team level, and that's it. Yeah? And also, if we then cascade that further down our OKRs to the individual level, it's more like a task list, a to-do list. Yeah? So also we want to avoid that. Yeah, so as you can see here, I have an example for an OKR on the organization level, become the market leader in Germany. And as a team OKR, now you can communicate your organizational OKR to your whole team's departments. And they have to think about how can we achieve it. Yeah, for example, increase outlets from 4 to 10, increase conversion rate. So different heads of departments, also team members, they can then think about how can I contribute with my objective? How can I contribute with my key results to this bigger picture OKR? So also we have plenty of examples in our OKR practitioner course, how to execute and how to align these OKRs on different levels, yeah, on these 2 levels, organizational and team level. Yeah, top objective always addresses these 6 topics, yeah, about growth, customer, people and culture, optimization and excellence, and innovation. Yeah, if I pick the 3 top ones, is about growth, customer, and innovation. Yeah, we also need to focus a little bit more about people and culture. So there's also a mixture between internal OKRs and external OKRs, we will also cover in our workshop. Yeah, let's go into an OKR setup. Yeah, as you can see on the right side, conquer the German market, become a great place to work, make customer love my product. So these are very short and crisp, easy to understand. Yeah, and you can see here, keep your OKRs simple. We will train also in the workshop how to include a couple of key anchors in your objective level to make it easier to draft also key results for your teams. What are good and bad objectives? Yeah, so let's say for me, always a bad objective is about a pinned up KPI system. Yeah, increase sales, double our user base, achieve 2 million in revenue. That's easy. That's too easy, and it addresses straight away the output what you want to achieve. We have to think more about more outside of the box. Yeah, what is the root problem? Maybe not having the sales number you want to achieve. Yeah, maybe we want to increase our engagement rate on our website. It leads to more high quality leads. Yeah, or we want to launch an awesome MVP as a minimum viable product that delights first adopters. So something which is outside of the box. And of course, if you achieve that, then with your objective, then your output, your sales will also automatically increase. Yeah? So that's something. It's easy to address, too easy to address straight away the output with the OKRs. Yeah, increase sales, that's a good example. Yeah, good team objectives, as you can see here. For sales, have a smooth buying process via sales automation. For HR, attract talents and foster their skills. Marketing, drive brand awareness that we are category leaders. And for software development, we want to increase user interface and say goodbye to bugs. So there's a clear outcome also here included in your objective already. Yeah? So which is very outcome driven. Yeah, now let's go into the OKR setup. Yeah, as an objective, we want to become the market leader in our industry. And how do we know it? Yeah, so we need to have a strong key result here, which is like a lagging indicator and tells us if we have achieved our goals. So in this example could be we want to increase our monthly active users to 1 million. If we have achieved 1 million, and that's the benchmark in our industry, then we are the market leader. So this number has to be very objective, not subjective, meaning it has to be understandable by everyone and very clear. So if we have achieved that, then this number will bring us to our objective level. Yeah, and as a full OKR example, here as an objective, make a customer love our product. So how can we define this key anchor love in our key result setup? First key result, customer satisfaction score of 90%. Key result number 2, increase review rating from 4 to 4.5. Key result number 3, reduce support reply time to 30 minutes. So as you can see, there are lagging indicators, which is in the past. So if it's really strong, we also include a couple of leading indicators. We will train that in our OKR workshop. But you can see now, if you fulfill key result number 1, 2, and 3, most likely your customer loves your product. So you fulfill also, you achieved your key anchor here and your objective. Marissa Mayer, she said key result is not a key result unless it has a number. Always include a number which is objective, measurable, and also you get the data on time. So that's also very essential in the OKR cycle. Now we cover quickly also the 2 performance systems. We have on the left side, we have KPIs. We call it also roof shots, business as usual numbers. On the right side, we have our moonshots, outcome-driven objectives, key results. We want to see what we want to achieve in the future. So I would strongly recommend we have 2 systems in place, KPIs and OKRs. KPIs are there. They will also see if you are on the right track, if how is our company healthy? Do we have healthy key metrics or unhealthy key metrics? So this is very, very essential to have 2 performance systems here in place. What are the main differentiator between OKRs and KPIs? OKRs are action-oriented goals. On the other side, KPIs measure the health of your organization. OKRs define and measure advancements, and KPIs measure these business as usual numbers. OKRs focus on the outcome, on the future, what you want to achieve by the end of the OKR cycle. And KPIs are more focused on the outputs, what is in the past, these lagging indicators. So conversion rate, for example, sales and so on. These are this typical KPI system. OKRs we want to align towards our strategies, vision, and mission. On the other side, KPIs provides this benchmark internally as well as externally, if we are still on the right track, if we have unhealthy or healthy KPIs. And OKRs have a clear due date. So every OKR cycle, maybe 3 months, 1 month, has a clear due date, what you want, when you want to achieve it. And on the other side, KPIs are measured more on an ongoing basis. So you have your sales numbers, your conversion rate, your churn rate, for example, or your marketing key metrics, which you want to measure on an ongoing basis. So ask yourself if you have an OKR or KPI. Are you doing anything differently? That's most likely an OKR. Is there already an established process? Most likely it's a KPI. Are we building, improving, or innovating? So this is a very important question. It indicates that you have an OKR. Will we continue to do what we already do? That's most likely a KPI. So it's on an ongoing basis, business as usual, which indicates you have a KPI. The most important question is here, are we building, improving, or innovating? That's the main differentiator between KPIs and OKRs. The relationship between KPIs and OKRs is that you want to turn an unhealthy KPI into a healthy one with the help of the OKR framework. If you have a declining sales, decreasing conversion rate, and you have to think about how can the OKR framework now helps us in order to achieve better sales numbers. Maybe we have an e-commerce site where we want to have a smoother checkout process for our customers. We don't want to tackle straight away, say we want to increase our sales. That's too straightforward. We want to think outside of the box. And if we have achieved now our OKR, we have an unhealthy KPI, we turn this unhealthy KPI with the help of the OKRs in a healthy one, then we can turn it back into the KPI system and monitor that further, maybe till it becomes unhealthy again. So that's why these two systems are very important. So sorry, I was rushing through, because we had a lot of topics to cover, and I stopped sharing here. If you have any questions, please let me know.
I basically do not have any questions as for now. I'm intrigued and engaged to study learning. Okay. And basically one thing I would like to mention and thank you. Like a couple months ago, everyone in our organization mentioned what measure what matters, and then we decided to implement it in our company, and we studied it somehow the way we could understand it, just without proper preparation, maybe without proper people or experienced people. And now just by this presentation, I can see where we're already wrong and what we need to change. So Dirk, thank you so much. Thanks even this one webinar was very productive.
I tried to pack everything in, so I thank you very much for your time, and I think it's a lot of things you can train your OKR muscle, so just take your time and, practice. Konstantin, you have a question.
Hi Dirk.
Hi.
In your favor, we could speak in German, but let's keep it in English, respecting the rest of the audience. Thank you very much. I did manage it after all. I sent you a message this morning saying that I wouldn't be able to make it because I was in a hospital. But I mean, it's always useful to get a video recording out of this, especially because you show some very nice slides, one of which I would very much appreciate if I could see it again, the one where you cataloged 4 or 5 issues or points between the differences between OKRs and in KPIs, which is something I keep evangelizing for the past 3 years. I was also very excited by your slides, one slide visualizing the car ride example, because I have been talking and writing about it in publications also 3 years now. So you put all my dear ideas in one slide, and I want to thank you for that. Referring to you, I hope I may use it as well, since I am having this presentation, but your slide is much more efficient and effective, I must say. I would like to keep in touch to know more about, since I am a hands-on empirical user coming from project and program manager and management and business management. I would like to know how can I achieve a certification of various levels as an OKR practitioner or what have you. If you would care to send me an email on that, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, of course I can. We start every week. We start an OKR practitioner course, Konstantin, and also OKR professional course on a Wednesday and on a Thursday. Yeah, so also happy to share this one. If you go on our OKR institute site.org site, then you can see the dates when we have these courses, and also can enroll in this course directly via our website. And if you have any questions,
well, I would like to see briefly that one slide again, unless you are issuing anytime soon a video recording for us of this presentation.
Yeah, I will.
Which was remarkable.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I will upload that on our YouTube channel, and I make that available at latest beginning of next week.
Okay, perfect. All right, that's good enough then.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Konstantin, for your feedback.
Thank you, Dirk.
Thanks. I just shared my email. So if you have any questions, please contact me anytime, and I'm here to help you. So also, if you have any questions regarding your OKR, so I always can maybe assist you, or maybe my help is of any need. Yeah. So what I said, I have a lot of practical experience. And all the pitfalls I went through, and I want to help you and to avoid them. Yeah. So and I wish you all the best with your OKR implementation. And I wish you a relaxed and happy weekend.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. See you. Bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, Dirk, maybe one question.
Yeah, of course. Please.
One question about if I want to go to the professional course, I need first to pass practitioner, or it is cover?
I mean, the professional course includes the practitioner course already. So
I read, but I read about it. But below in this article, in your article, I saw you need to have practitioner course too. Practitioner knowledge.
To have the professional course, you need to have a knowledge on the practitioner on the OKR framework. When you sign up directly for the professional course, you always start with the practitioner course first. If you want to go straight away to the professional course, just let me know what is your background. And on the OKR framework, then I will have a look, and then we can see if you can already start on the OKR professional level.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, thank you, and have a nice
thanks a lot, Sergey, and thanks for joining, and wish you a happy weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. See you. Bye-bye.